Compliance at Atlas has gone through some changes lately, changes for the better. And I'm in the Dallas office today talking to two of our three compliance specialists here. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So Myra and Missy, Aaliyah's not with us today. She is working from home, and we'll get to that here just in a little bit. So Myra and Missy both have experience in compliance, but bring something special to this office that I think that I wanted to stop and talk to them about. So first of all, thank you for having us. This has been a really fun trip. You've been very welcoming, and I don't think I didn't know what to expect guests coming down here, and you guys have been awesome so far.
Well, I think Missy said it well earlier. We're known for our big welcomes, so
Texas Southern hospitality, that's right.
And that's exactly what I got too. So,
good.
Okay, you give me a background. I want each of you to kind of give me a background of where you've been before, you've done compliance, that type of thing. So talk about how long you've been in the industry.
Okay, I've actually been in staffing since 2012 when my daughter was born, started in accounting, and then I went to IT staffing. I've always been in the background, kind of branch manager, compliance manager. I've been in compliance for a little over 6 years. Took a quick break to do recruiting, so I have a newfound love of recruiters and respect for recruiters because I understand what happens in the, on the front end now. So I think that gave me a lot of perspective to do my job really well in the compliance side.
Actually makes a lot of sense knowing now where you came from and then how you kind of operate and structure your days. That makes a lot of sense now.
Yes.
Yeah. Missy, you came from the industry as well?
I came from the industry, however, not near as long in the industry. I've only been in about a year, but my compliance starts a few years ago in a different sense, where I worked in transportation in the school districts, and I would have to credential our new drivers.
Okay.
So make sure that they had the training, make sure they had their everything kosher for the state and kosher for DOT and that kind of thing. So
not all that different.
Not a whole lot. I mean, it's basically knowing what you're looking at, what's required, keeping inside the law, and keep compliant. Obviously, right. That's the biggest thing. You just got rules you got to follow.
Right. Absolutely. No different than what we do right now.
Right.
Totally no different. So, okay, you're only here in the office part-time.
Correct.
Talk about that a little bit, because COVID changed everything, right? And we have a nice office here in Dallas. We have the recruiters are here 3 of the 5 days per week. They come and go as they need.
The flexibility has been really, really great. I have a school-aged child, so being able to be home with her after school was a huge deal for me. She's about to be 10, so this is the first time that she's home alone after school for a little bit of time. So whenever I leave the office, I head straight home. But having that flexibility, so she's, it has been really great. She says, "Hey mom, are you gonna be home or are you gonna be in the office today?" So she knows I need to take my key today, or I know that I need to come straight home after school today. So that being able to be home on certain days with her, and she knows what to expect versus in the office has been just a blessing.
Same here. I've got 2 kids. It's the flexibility is really nice, and I can shift my work hours if I need to. Say you have an appointment or something you have to make and you have to take time off. It's nice to be at home for focusing as well. Like I can turn my music up as loud as I want, or I can shut everything off and have it quiet. Just however you work, however works well for you. So that's a nice perk to have.
Well, you shared with me yesterday that your commute is an hour.
Yes.
Here, which I think is crazy. You've lost 2 hours of productivity coming here and then going back home, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas then you could just, when you get up in the morning, you get up and your commute is 2 minutes, right?
Right.
And you step over your dog or your cat or whatever, and you sit down at your desk. And then your commute home is the same exact thing. You're there.
Right.
So I think in a lot of ways we've really embraced that. Mm-hmm. And this isn't an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday job. Mm-hmm. It just isn't. Mm-hmm. And it never really was in the beginning. And our industry has tried to jam a square peg into a round hole.
Right.
In a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. And I think, at least with this, we found some secret sauce. We found what makes this work, and it's working for both of you.
Right.
Now.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
And it also helps when we're working from home is we work with nurses in all time zones.
Yes.
So if we need to log in a little bit early, we can do that to talk to our nurses. If we need to stay a little bit late or logged in a little bit late to get something done for them in a different time zone, we have access to that without being inside of the office.
Right.
Well, there was a lot of times back when I used to do it, without sounding like, back in my day when I did this.
How old are you?
Exactly. Well, if a file wasn't cleared by 5 o'clock on a Friday, right, that nurse wasn't starting on Monday. That's
Right.
not necessarily the case anymore, right?
Correct.
I mean, it has become a 24-hour kind of cycle on these, and you may clear someone at 7 or 8 o'clock at night on a Friday, they still can start because your counterpart at the VMS or the MSP or at the facility is still there too.
Right.
And not there in a sense of like sitting at a desk, but they're working still. Files cleared, you're clear to start, here's your first day instructions, let's go.
Right.
Compliance is hard. It's never been an easy thing. Give me one tip that as you've gone through this, and both of you, give me one tip that maybe you'd say, okay, this will make it easier for you. Try this next time.
I would say maybe what works best for me is checklists. I work off of checklists. I like to check things off once I have them. So whenever I send in something to the traveler, I let them know too, hey, once you send this to me, I'll send you an updated checklist. I think organization is key here in the office or here at home, wherever we're working. As long as, if I'm not organized or if I don't have a to-do list or, something like that, then I'm kind of scatterbrained and I lose my place because there's so much going on. So I guess I would say the same to a traveler. Just, once you have this, go ahead and mark it off your list and we'll get through the rest of it. Or sometimes, it's a lot between skills checklists and profiles and this and that. It becomes a lot for them. So halfway through, I send an email saying, hey, we're almost done. We're almost to the finish line. Thank you so much for sending all of this in. Thank you for your diligence. Like, I wish all of the travelers were like you, things like that, just to keep them going.
Sure, yeah.
I think if I'm going to give any advice, I would give 3 things. I would say, don't wait till the last minute, because those last minute things, that something can go wrong last minute. You never know if a negative dilute's going to come back on your drug screen, or if your TB didn't make it to the lab, the specimen got messed up or something to that effect. So don't wait till the last minute. Keep your documentation on a thumb drive. Like, put it all on a thumb drive and carry it with you, because if you're traveling, and you got all your stuff back home in a storage facility and you can't get to it, then you got to go get new stuff, and that's just a pain. So if you keep it all on a thumb drive, keep it in your purse, keep it in your pocket, or keep it in your laptop bag, whatever, that's helpful, because then you can just say, here you go, and there it all is. And if there's just something that doesn't work, you only have 1 or 2 things, And lastly, I think just staying on top of things. Know the communication. Let us know when you're going. Let us know when you've gone. If you can get the documentation while you're there, get it. Because so many things can go wrong with technology and all that kind of thing. So those are probably the 3 most important things that I would tell a traveler if they were going to get into traveling.
Great.
Healthcare providers.
Yeah.
So,
Communication, organization, right? I mean, that's
definitely.
Those 2 things. It couldn't go any smoother. If you're on top of your communication, you're on top of your organization, you should have a fine road. It shouldn't be difficult. Now, things are going to happen.
Right.
I mean, and then just be able to be flexible when those things happen.
Right.
So, and be open to it. So, Myra, Missy, thank you so much. Again, it's been a fun time down here. I've really enjoyed it. You're right. I mean, everything's bigger in Texas, including hospitality. So I can never repay you for how awesome you guys are.
I mean, and sure to say where y'all belong.
That's right. And as you know, portion sizes and barbecue.
We found that out today. I will definitely come back. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Both of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.